In 1899, the ship Sakura Maru arrived at Port of Callao in Peru, carrying the first 790 immigrants from Japan. They were separated into groups to work as tenant farmers and factory workers and began their lives in the local area. 4 years later, Reverend Taiyan Ueno took the second immigrant ship to Peru, where he initiated the first teaching activities of Soto Zen in South America. Due to his enthusiasm and the donations of the Japanese immigrants, in 1907, Gionji, the oldest temple in South America, was built in Cañete. An elementary school was built next to the temple and is now considered the oldest Japanese language school in South America. In addition to his activities as a priest, Reverend Ueno taught in the school. The temple has received continuous support ever since, and together with both cemeteries of San Vicente and Casablanca, even now they both stand as spiritual homes of Japanese immigrants in Peru. In the Federative Republic of Brazil, in which the majority of citizens are Catholic, public missionary work by other religions was restricted until the end of World War II. Brazil began accepting immigrants to work on the coffee plantations. Harsh labor conditions and low wages caused immigrants to protest, and some European countries stopped sending their citizens. Japan, on the other hand, formally started allowing immigration to Brazil in 1908. By 1973, about 300,000 Japanese people had immigrated to Brazil. Most Japanese immigrants intended to work as contract laborers for a few years and then return to Japan. But life in those early days were very harsh, and like the earlier European immigrants, many could barely survive. Many died under those harsh conditions. When someone passed away, monks who had immigrated as farm laborers, or even lay people who knew how to chant the sutras, performed the funerals and mourned the deceased. Eventually, Japanese immigrants came together, introducing collective farming, forming agricultural cooperatives, or becoming independent farmers, gradually improving their lives. Their interests turned to the Buddhist faith of their ancestors in order to honor the family members and fellow immigrants who built a foundation for life in Brazil. In 1952, members and supporters of Soto Zen who had immigrated to Brazil sent an official letter to sotoshu in which they requested teaching activities in Brazil and invited the head priest of sotoshu, Takashinaro Senzenji. In 1955, upon receiving the official request, Takashina Zenji visited Brazil. During 3 months of touring and teaching, he visited various places in Brazil with an eye toward understanding the Japanese immigrants there. This became the first step in development of sotoshu teaching activities in South America. The following year in 1956, Reverend Johann Shingu was appointed as the first director of the Soto Zen Buddhism South America office. In the course of just 1 year, his teaching activities took him a distance of 40,000 kilometers as he looked steadily and carefully throughout Brazil. In 1959, both the South American office and the branch temple in South America for the two head temples of Soto Zen were established. In 1960, they moved to their current location, and the new main hall was built in 1995. In 2009, when the Daikankaku building containing a Zendo and Founders Hall were completed, there was a ceremony commemorating the 50th anniversary of founding of the South America office in Bushinji. Bushinji is located on Liberdade Street, which is close to the center of São Paulo city. With easy access by public transportation, the temple's members, supporters, and local people are constantly coming and going. In addition to the temple's original role of providing daily zazen, funeral services, memorial services for family ancestors, and other annual events, Bushinji also plays a role as a place to learn Japanese culture and art, such as calligraphy and flower arrangements. Once a month, after religious services, Bushinji serves curry and rice to the local community for free. This activity is called Aparasida Kannon Mushasujikie. Aparecida, the Virgin Mary, is recognized as a patron saint of Brazil and is also the name of a holiday. This event was named in this way so community members who do not know about Buddhism can better understand Kannon Bodhisattva, who saves all sentient beings from suffering, like the Sacred Mother of Christianity. In the early morning, members of the Fujinkai, the Women's Association of Bushinji, come to the temple and start cooking about 250 servings of curry and rice, prepared carefully and with a charitable heart. At noon, when the religious ceremony begins, people regardless of gender, profession, or ethnicity gather in front of the main hall entrance. Because of the gap between rich and poor due to economic development and the increase in crime in the surrounding area, the entrance of the temple is usually secured and restricted. However, in an effort to disseminate the Buddhist teachings and for the community to learn about the temple, once a month on the day of this event, the main hall entrance is open to the public.
若い頃はお寺とは本当に縁がなかったです。このお寺ができたのがまだ50年、60年ですけれど、その前は私たちお寺なんて本当に知らなかったもんです。で、だんだん、2000年くらいから数多く出入りし、お世話になることで、お寺って心休まるし、いいところだなっていう気持ちで、自分なりに何かとお手伝いできることがあればさせていただくと同時に、そのお寺に足を運ぶことによっていろいろなことを僧侶の皆さんから教えていただいたり、本当に大切な場所だと思います。
Zengenji is located in the city of Mogi das Cruzes, about 70 kilometers northeast from São Paulo city. Many Japanese immigrants have settled in this city since the beginning of Japanese immigration. Zengenji was built as the first Soto Zen temple in Brazil when Takashi Nazenji made his historic tour of the country. In the Obon season, temple members work together to decorate the main hall with many lanterns in remembrance of their family ancestors.
うちの人とかおじいちゃんが善現寺に入ってたんですよね。それで一緒に入ったわけです。婦人会は、年に2回バザーをやったり、それから毎月のお参りの時にごちそうを作ったりしてます。みんなと会っておしゃべりしたりね、賑やかに笑ってごちそうを作って、ご先祖さんのためとかお年寄りが来られるから、そういう方たちに食事作ってあげれば喜ばれるし、とてもみんな楽しく やってます。みんなが楽しく丸く収まって続けていければいいなって思ってます。
Once a year, Kokusai Fukyōshi in South America gather in one place for a series of lectures and workshops. They are engaged in disseminating the Soto Zen teachings through this event.
En 2013, cuando nos reunimos en Lima para la celebración de los 110 años de la llegada de la escuela Soto Zen a América del Sur, nos reunimos con los maestros de la escuela Soto y ahí en esa ocasión conversábamos sobre cómo nuestras sanghas estaban separadas, cómo a pesar de que todos formábamos parte de este continente suramericano, pues hay maestros por cada lado y cada uno hace lo que puede, pero necesitábamos unirnos. Al año siguiente, en 2014, tuvimos el encuentro en Buenos Aires. En 2015 lo tuvimos en Montevideo. Y en 2016 tuvimos la oportunidad de tener el encuentro aquí en Bogotá, que justo se llamó Encuentro Zen, Camino de Transformación. Si nosotros estamos construyendo un país en paz en este momento, nuestra práctica, como el Buda Shakyamuni alguna vez le enseñó, es un camino para liberarnos del sufrimiento, para entender cómo nosotros mismos causamos el sufrimiento en nosotros y en los demás, y por esta razón era la oportunidad para mostrar esta práctica al público general como una herramienta para construir las bases de una sociedad sana y en paz.
The temples that were founded for Japanese immigrants have evolved with the changing times. However, what has not changed from the beginning is the spirit to serve the social need and to offer a place of spiritual support to all beings.